Hello, I'm Nitro something or other 9, and we're back in our lovely peaceful Minecraft world. It's no wildcard today. We're going back to the Dunzookin Castle construction site and just having a nice chill time continuing construction on the castle. Yes, and over there you can see on the horizon I've started dyeing sheep to get some lovely coloured wool, and I have used that lovely coloured wool to build a larger than life effigy of my beloved cat, Ziggy. There he is. The big Ziggy. Yes, but that's not the focus of today's show. Today's show is all about continuing work on Dunzookin Castle. Hello donkeys, I've managed to get some donkeys, breed some mules, so I've got a lovely little equine population in my stables over here. I could probably stand to move them to somewhere a little bigger, but that's not for today. So I haven't actually done much on the exterior of the castle since the last video, but you know what I have done? If we go down deep into the basement here, we now have our very own on-site nether portal, hooray! And behind that nether portal, if you go down, I'm not quite sure what I'll use this room for yet, but isn't it lovely? Yes. We've also got here, this will take ages because it needs so much resources, it's such a huge resource sink. This tunnel, I plan to tunnel right under the wildlands to reach my dark oak outpost out here, so it's easier to get to, which would be nice, but there's a lot of ocean in the way, a lot of hostile territory in the way, so that's not a project for today. But I thought I would mostly work on the castle in videos. It's nice to just build and chat, and it's very relaxing since I'm very much in crunch time right now. I'm taking a break from my very tiring uni work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got our guide, yes. And my Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy video is doing surprisingly well, so I'm definitely going to do some of them soon, but whoops. Butterfingers today. Yeah, it's done very well. It's got around 30 something views, which is surprisingly good for me. So I'm definitely going to do another one, but those ones are hard because when you see it, you see the game quite large. I've enlarged it on my OBS, but when I see the game, I'm squinting at a very small DOSBox emulator window, so it's a little hard to read. And when I watch the footage back, it makes me look like I'm illiterate, but no, I'm just squinting at a very difficult to see window. But it is a very fun game. Well, fun when you're not being instantly killed. It's quite unforgiving. And it got 2 likes as well. My Minecraft videos never really get likes, which makes me think you don't like them. Maybe it's me saying don't like, don't subscribe that does it. Do like and subscribe if you want. Ooh, the Lofi in the background. So you know, I said when I introduced this Lofi that it was composed. It is AI generated, which made me think initially, oh, I'm not using this, but it's sort of procedurally generated. The big problem with AI is sort of art theft, music theft, that sort of thing. I sort of looked on the Reddit profile of the guy who made this tool. There's no sort of database of other people's music that's getting chopped up and reconfigured in the background. It uses a sort of generative thing. It's not using like thievery to make music. So, which is why I feel comfortable, sort of mostly comfortable using it for the time being. Because it's so chill, isn't it? AI is quite a controversial subject right now. I got an email from my uni a while ago saying, anonymous survey, have you used AI to write your assignments? And there's no way that the survey's anonymous, is it? By the way, I haven't, I never would. I very much value academic integrity. I was planning on this YouTube channel to do a series where I used character.ai to make a little bot and talk to them, but until I know where that dataset comes from and make sure it's not sort of stolen writing or anything, I don't know how comfortable I feel doing that. While I've never submitted uni work that uses AI, I did experiment once to see if the claims people say that, oh, uni students are using AI to write essays. I wanted to experiment if it was true. So I made up a fake essay prompt and gave it to one of these bots, and I don't think it is happening because the level the bots write at, I don't know if you know much about British uni grades. I average at about a low to mid first, and I occasionally get a high first, so that's about 73, 74 usually, occasionally as high as a 79, a couple 80s in there. I estimate from experience that these AI things write at about a level 50, a 50 grade, which is not a good grade. Well, it's an okay grade. It's not a good grade for me. So yeah, I don't believe that students really are using AI to write essays, because it takes so much sort of effort. It would take so much effort to edit the text into something that gets a good grade that I think any student could write better than an AI. Well, for now at least. Although, like, as someone who writes, I think I do fear AI a little. And this is maybe a mean thing to think. I think sort of media literacy, and just sort of quality of things people are enjoying. Part of me worries that while AI could never write fiction as good as a real human writer, part of me worries that audiences are so media illiterate and sort of dumbed down these days that they'll consume those things anyway. Like, I don't like to rag on the MCU, but like, AI written fiction would be to literature what MCU movies are to cinema. Sort of mass-produced, crass, lowest common denominator, but popular anyway because people aren't very media literate these days, which is a bit of a shame. I've got Optifine installed now, so things should be running just a little bit smoother, less sort of dropped frames, less lag. I've also been able to experiment with some shaders, but when I try and record footage with the shaders, it comes out quite crunchy, so I don't think I'll be making videos with shaders until I can figure that out nicely. But some of the shaders I've used have been just breathtaking though. Seeing the water look like real water, and like diving underwater and seeing distortion effects like you are underwater. It's just when you try and record it, it comes out all sort of weird and crunchy and pixely for some reason. I think I'm going about this floor of the castle quite inconsistently. It's hard to talk and play at the same time. And I've got loads of stone bricks now. As you can see, the chest is pretty packed, so I should be able to go and go on talking and playing for a good long time today. And I'm not talking. I've run out of things to say. I wanted to make an episode today just to sort of relax, but a lot of my mental energy has been used on essay writing and a sci-fi assignment that has a lot of little sort of questions that need answering. It's night, but we're not going to get sniped all the way up here, are we? I've completely run out of storage inside Dunzookin Cottage now, and there's no room to put any more chests down, so we're going to have to get moved into the castle fairly soon. I would use the, where is it, the silo, but the silo's for like mass quantities of specific objects. It's not general storage. Whoops, I might have to scaffold up now. Yeah, so I need some more sort of general storage. A lot of me sitting in silence today. This channel turns 10 years old this year, I know. I'm sort of working on a little project in sort of fits and starts to release when this channel turns 10 years old. But at this point, I'm not sure if it'll be good enough to release or if I'll have time to finish it. But yeah, this channel turns 10 years old on the 13th of July, I think, which is a few days after my real life birthday. I made this channel a few days after my 13th birthday, and now I'm almost 23. Oh, I'm practically ancient, but I've been working on this little special video to release, but it's weird. Archive.org, I was working on a segment about my sort of vlogs I made when I was 13 and how a lot of them have since been deleted and I don't have the original copies of them. And I was trying to find like screen caps of my channel page from 2013 on archive.org, and I just can't find them. But I'm sure they existed because I might have looked for them before. Yeah, my old channel name was... Is this everything up to? Yeah, my old channel name was Just Got to Look. I'm going to use some of this nice nether wood to make a few floors here. My old channel name was Just Got to Look. Watching my old videos, it's kind of weird that I have this sort of record of myself. In some ways I've changed a lot in the past decade, because of course you change from 13 to 23, but in some ways I've changed very little. Like, if you go back to my original series of my Bamzuki videos from 2017, 2018, I'm still practically the same person from back then. I don't know if that's comforting or alarming, but yeah, my voice has changed very little, in particular since then. But if you listen to my 13-year-old self, I'm a little bit Peppa Pig. I think. Luckily it was never released on YouTube. My parents were very strict about that. But I used to take the family camera and make little videos around the house when I was 9, so like 8 or 9. I sounded exactly like Peppa Pig when I was a child. It's kind of weird, but it's weird. I sound a lot more posh than I used to. I don't know if that's going to uni that's done that to me, or because I sound like a common scamp in my vlogs from when I was 13, but now I'm speaking the Queen's English. like I'd say it was uni, but I go to uni in Essex, so if anything, that would have had the opposite impact on my accent. Oh, I'm gonna miss uni. Because I was thinking of doing my master's degree at the same uni I did undergrad at, but it's just sort of money that the government are a lot less generous with student loans for master's degrees. So for undergrad I could afford maybe not a nice flat to live in, but a flat to live in with my own little sink and my own little oven. So I didn't have to share it with people. But I did some budgeting. If I wanted to do a master's degree at my current uni, the only accommodation I could afford is a sort of windowless brick building opposite a Tesco, where I could live on a camp bed and share a kitchen and a bathroom with like 6 people. And I could not survive doing that. I lasted 4 days in shared accommodation because I'm just so socially awkward. I couldn't share a kitchen with people, especially since when I started uni I was a lot less worldly than other kids my age, and was like horrified at the idea of drinking alcohol. Yeah, as much as I joked in my old videos, I was a weenie back then. I'm still a bit of a weenie now. Which, a little bit thin walls in my accommodation. When I smelled, let's say, the devil's lettuce outside my room and remarked on it to someone, they made a point of wafting devil's lettuce smoke under my bedroom door. But I'm not a snitch. I wouldn't tell on them. Oh, do you remember the TikTok trend where, I don't know who wrote the song, it's I hear your heart beat to the beat of the drum, and then you knock on someone's door really aggressively? That happened to me twice within the space of a week when I was at uni, and I never really sort of met my neighbours, so maybe they thought nobody was staying in that room. Uni's been fun though. I was talking to my brother today, who was remarking, while I'm a creative writing student and my creative writing abilities are the same as they ever was, my essay writing skills have massively improved. I was writing an essay today. We have a sort of, one of our assignments is like 10 little essay questions based on all the books we've read this term. I was writing a mini essay about Watchmen, and my brother was like, "Oh, where did you learn to write like that?" And I said, "Oh, uni." Because where else would I write essays? Very rainy. I'm so glad Minecraft doesn't have any sort of realistic wood rot action, because this wood's got rained on so much that it would just rot if it was a real world. Let's put one of these there, so I can replace the hole in the floor when I... Let's put another scaffolding here. No, nope. Here, yeah. Okay, spruce. Oops. Yeah, I'll leave that there. That can replace the hole in the floor when I take the scaffolding down. Oops. Do you think there'd ever be some interest in seeing some actual live action content from me? I'd never show my face on YouTube again, at least not at the moment. but I'd quite like to show my hands, and as you can sort of tell by a lot of the humour, I grew up watching a lot of sort of Ashens, and I kind of want to do a thing where you have sort of hands showing something off, and I had an idea. I'm a big sort of fountain pen person. I'm not that knowledgeable, but when it comes to sort of cheap beginner level fountain pen stuff, I have quite a lot of opinions. So I was thinking of making a series I wanted to call the Anti-Ballpoint Alliance, where I sort of showed off my fountain pens and showed you how to clean them and how to fill a converter, and let's put some torches up in here before we've got mobs all around. No, how to fill a converter, how to put in an ink cartridge, and reviewing a few of my pens with sort of like same format as Ashen's does, just some hands, disembodied hands. Do you think, comment if you think you'd like to watch the Anti-Ballpoint Alliance. I don't think this is quite right. I'm gonna demolish this bit here. But when it comes to cameras, my own camera, I like the video camera I used to make stuff on years ago is long broken. The only sort of camera I have is a little point and click digital one. I don't think that would be much good for video, but even though I have an Android, my phone camera is of sort of alright. It's good enough quality, and I can use an app. How do I get out of here? I'm just gonna have to jump down, aren't I? I can use an app that I found that lets you stream your camera footage to OBS from your phone and use your phone as a camera within OBS, but you can only use it in less than HD for free, and I'd have to pay 13 real life government pounds to film in HD, so I'd really have to commit to the idea before I did it, but just a thought for now. My current pick for fountain pens is a TWSBI Eco. Right now I've been using a TWSBI Eco in fine with the Cult Pens ink, Little Hells. I quite like the Cult Pens iridescent inks. I've had some problems with them in the past, them being a bit temperamental, but they've got a nice sort of shine to them. A little bit iridescent, as I said. My favourite fountain pen inks are the diamine or diamine. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it. The ink Amaranth is my favourite, though Sapphire Blue is rapidly finding favour. It's just the best blue. This will make this a little bit taller. Yes. Just so we're... I'm not sure how many floors this castle is going to have, and I'm putting in the windows off camera because it's a bit fiddly and I make a lot of mistakes and it's not the most compelling viewing. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm basically doing this whole castle by eye. If I were a more prepared creator, I would have pre-built it in creative. Good. We're on episode 10 now. I think this is the longest I've ever committed to a series because I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades. I make sort of a few episodes of something. I'm really bad at sort of committing to things long term. So if you follow my internet presence, it's just a trail of half finished projects. 'Cause it's like I guess I sort of like, it's not a case of losing interest, it's a case of losing confidence. To be honest. Like I've got a half-written novel that I've lost all confidence in, and it makes me cringe to even attempt to work on it now. So, but Bamzuki, I need to be making some more Bamzuki videos. I went back to my old laptop and my 2008 hard drive backups. I'm going to call it the Ghosts of Dead Zooks. I've got contest recordings from Zooks that don't exist anymore. I wonder if there is a way to extract a Zook file from a contest recording, because contest recordings aren't video files, they're sort of 3D renderings you can replay. So the 3D model for the Zook has got to be saved somewhere in that. So I'm wondering if... I don't really post on the Bamzooki Discord anymore because I am very, very painfully shy. But I'm wondering if one of the boffins there would be able to extract a Zook file from one of these recordings. But they're a little bit embarrassing because I did make them when I was 8 years old with Pokemon Zooks with the awful, weird, misspelt Pokemon names. One of the Zooks I made, I didn't know about the timing for the legs, so it just sort of leaps weirdly. It was called Pikachu, like P-I-C-A-C-H-U, as in Pika as in eating things that aren't food. Yeah, I don't know why I was so opposed to the letter K, but I spelled Pikachu wrong. I also have Bulbasaur, the Zook, which I think was just after I finished, worked out how to do leg timing, so it does sort of walk, but it has like a weird beak instead of looking like a Bulbasaur. Like, it's sort of green and has the bulb on its back, but the resemblance ends there. I've also got some Zooks that I made in 2018, after I stopped making videos, but before I'd sort of given up on that series, because there was a point in 2018 that I was planning on making more Bamzooki videos, and then I, for whatever reason, I didn't. Oh, that was a lucky one. I made a Zook called Kabutank, which is a huge sort of rhinoceros beetle Zook, and it's surprisingly good. So, like, I've lost a lot of my skill in all the years I've not played, but I made Kabutank at the peak of my Bamzooki skills. He's a surprisingly effective Zook. Not in comparison to the stuff actual hardcore Bamzooki people make, but pretty good for me. Who would win competitions against Fridge Friezo or Spindleshanks. That's another thing that I found. Development versions of Spindleshanks. I made him for a contest on the Discord server in 2017-2018. I knew I wanted to call my Zook Spindleshanks from the beginning, but I made several different versions of him with different sort of leg thicknesses, different proportions, and the sort of skinny guy won out. I tried recently to make a version of Spindleshanks called Spindle Strong, but it turns out if you try and buff him up a little, the walk cycle just breaks and he just falls over. So when I watch Bamzooki videos, when I see people who've used Spindleshanks, it gives me a little bit of happiness, because my boy people still think about my boy. Although he loses almost every contest they put him in. I think it's really funny. But I kind of want to upload him to the sort of Zook Labs tool. They have a sort of the Bamzooki Discord people have made a tool called Zook Labs, which is basically a replacement for what the old CVBC Bamzooki website used to be. A place where you can upload Zooks, download other people's Zooks, and view their stats in like a list, and they have a leaderboard. I was thinking of uploading Spindleshanks to there, but I am painfully shy. So out of like maybe the 4 or so people I've seen make Bamzooki content, I am the worst Zook tuber. I should wear that as a badge of honor. Nitro worst Zook tuber 9. I kind of want to Quimp Skempy, Nimbling, all the guys I made on camera in my original series. I kind of want to dig them out and have a contest of old Zooks. Because I made them on camera, you can see the whole creative process for them, but I could never really make nice ones on camera, because like when you're recorded, you have, I think I'm not someone who performs in my videos, it's like that much, but when you're on camera you have an obligation to sort of entertain, so you can't fiddle and like allow yourself to try and fail as much. So those Zooks never really got sort of stress tested, so they never turned out very good. And I sort of made up the names on the spot, like Quimp, Skempy, Nimbling. One was called Tagma, I think. No, that was the name of the part of it. What was it called? It was like a tiger-striped one with red eyes. I'm forgetting my own channel lore here. That's kind of weird. I think my channel does have lore. Just like lore that only I care about. I don't think any of you guys are out there caring about Fridge Friezo and Coleslaw Joe. And do people think my April Fool's video was funny? Or was it cringy? Because I was planning on making it for a while, but April Fool's Day sort of snuck up on me. So it got to sort of midday on April Fool's Day. I was busy working on loads of essays, and I thought, oh no, it's April Fool's Day. I need to get that video done I was talking about for months, and I sort of did it in a rush, downloading a bunch of OBS plugins, just whatever I could get that would make my voice sound silly. Wow, we're over 30 minutes now. Let's get this floor completed and we'll call it a day. These videos always seem to be longer when it's me on my own, and they always seem to get less views when it's me on my own. But I've produced, this series is now like 3 hours long, so a special imaginary medal to you if you sat through all of that. The Nitr09 Veterans Club. Wow, we're getting high up. If I fall from this height, I'm just gonna die. Look, this armor was clean on when I started the video, and I've already damaged it. Ooh, I was thinking, can you see there's a potato farm, beetroot and carrot back there. I was thinking of just demolishing those 3 farms, putting the farms, relocating that sort of farm to over there, and putting a secondary horse stable there, just so I can keep my favourite horses, Rusty, Clipper, my named ones, and my mules, my donkeys, in somewhere that's a bit more secure. Yes, have we got enough wood to do the flooring? Let's try and do at least one of the tower floors in nether warped planks there. I do love this blue, it's a lovely shade of blue. A lot of the stuff in the nether episode was a genuine surprise to me. I'd never seen a strider before I'd recorded that episode, because I was a bit out of practice with survival Minecraft, and Netherrack had a different texture last time I went to the nether in survival. It's been that long. Yeah, I don't think I have enough to do another. Spruce. Still a couple of them in spruce and some birch for some diversity of colour. I doubt I'm ever gonna fully fill this castle, but it's a nice build. Oh, this is already panning out to be the longest episode yet. Wow. And it's like half an hour of dead air and me just rambling. Right. Let's try and get the towers done in spruce. And these middle floors done in birch. And we'll call it a day. Ooh. It's strange how fast time flies when you're playing Minecraft. It's like how my 10-minute Minecraft breaks occasionally turn into half-hour Minecraft breaks. I've lost a bit of time to this world that I've been making, doing my essays. You know, I stress way too much as a student. Like, I could fail every assignment I have left, including my dissertation, and still graduate with a 2-1, because I hate to brag, I am the top performing student on my current course. In my first year, I got 2nd place for best student. In my 2nd year, I got 1st place for best student, which leaves me wondering who dropped out between 1st year and 2nd year and left me top of the class. There's only one other person I've spoken to who's gotten an 80 grade, which, if you didn't know, marks in my university, they're technically out of 100, but 80 is pretty much the best grade you can get. So, but it's, I've only gotten it 3 times, I think. One time is I produced a magazine for an assignment that did not need to produce a magazine. Yeah, because one of my classes last year was a class about non-fiction, and the assignment was free reign, write a piece of non-fiction. And one of the classes we'd had was a really interesting class about special interest magazines and how to make a career writing in special interest magazines. So that's what I tailored my assignment around, and I made my very own 20-page special interest fountain pen magazine. So, including, that was a lot of fun, photography, set up with a little ring light and photographed all my fountain pens, real nice. But I think I only got an 80 on that. In my opinion, that was only worth about a 70. But the professor for that class was retiring, so I think he was being extra kind with his grading in his final term of teaching. Oh, don't you, my uni, it's works are graded anonymously. In my 2nd year, I took an environmentalism class, and the final essay I wrote for that class was an essay against vegetarianism. Yeah, so have you ever had a professor sort of, like, obviously angry that they're having to award a 1st class grade to an essay they disagree with, like, morally? Yeah, that's writing that essay, because my journey with vegetarianism and then not being a vegetarian anymore was sort of quite traumatic for me, and it's something I still feel the sort of health repercussions for. And I think I'm a lot angrier at the concept of vegetarianism than I perhaps should be. Like, so it was quite an angry essay, but it got it 1st for strong research and good arguments. So, ooh. Okay, we need to break this. I think we're nearly completed. Whoops, no. The scaffolding is a little finicky. There. Okay. Yeah. There's so many sort of little things in Minecraft that passed me by because I'm so set in my ways. And I was playing on 1.12.2 for a while because I think that's where my favourite mods sort of fell off the bandwagon. I used to consider the mod custom NPCs a sort of must-have mod, and I think the developer stopped working on it. So, here we have it. It's complete and nearly as tall as the silo. And we're nearly at 40 minutes, our longest episode ever. Wow, a bumper episode for this 10th episode. Wow. doing for stone? Yep. Well, I'm gonna have to get back down the mines and get some more for our next build-a-thon episode. Let's get back to poor old, outdated Dunzookin cottage, soon to be replaced by an excellent castle. It's never going anywhere, I'll leave it the way it is, but I've got so many dogs and cats. Hello, I've been your host, Nitr09's. This has been our longest episode ever. Don't like, don't subscribe. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.